All right. So I guess we'll start with introductions. I'm Julian. My pronouns are they, them. I'm non-binary and transgender and a community health worker with Union of Pan-Asian Communities.
And hi, I'm Dominic de los Reyes. My pronouns are also they, them, and you can also use he, him, interchangeably, whatever, either or. And I'm also with the Union of Pan-Asian Communities.
Yeah, so one of the issues that I came across recently in terms of my vaccination was that when I got my COVID-19 vaccine, I had my dead name or previous legal name on that vaccination card. I was actually right in the middle of legally changing my name to Julian, and I was waiting for all those court documents and to change my social security and to get my driver's license and all that fun stuff that you have to do when you do a name change. So when now that like my work and like other spaces are requiring me to show my vaccination card for COVID-19, I was worried that I had to show the one with my dead name on it. So I reached out and looked around to see what I could do to change my name, to update my name on my immunization record. And so I just wanted to share that with anybody who is trans and has had a legal name change and needs to update the immunization record, or anybody that just, needs to access their immunization record, or, for yourself or for your child if they're requesting it for school. So we're going to start with the process of updating your name, and then through the process of requesting that form. It's very easy. It's very quick. There's not much to it. So if you've had a legal name change, you can update your name with the immunization record. And what I mean by that is not just the COVID-19 card. It's your entire immunization record that you have from the time that you were born. So the state keeps record of this, and if you've had a legal name change, then it probably has not been updated there yet. If you have had a legal name change and a legal gender change, then you're probably familiar with this form right here, NC 230, from the California court. It comes along with a bunch of other forms, but we're looking at this one specifically because this is the one that you need to change your social security, and the one that you need to take to the DMV in order to update your name. And so if you've had this returned to you and all of this here has been filled out, if everything was done correctly and you have been granted by a judge your legal name change, you will see a seal here from the state of California, along with the name and the signature of a clerk and the signature of a judge here. So this is one of the most important documents that you'll need to keep showing everywhere once you have your legal name change. And it has your information on it, including your previous name or dead name and your most current legal and corrected name. So what you'll want to do is basically you are going to want to send a copy of this form with the judge's signature and a photo ID to this email address here. You're going to want to send your court document, NC 230, along with your photo ID that has your correct current legal name to this email address. There's also, you can also fax it and we'll include that number, or you can mail physical copies to an address that we will also provide. So that's kind of the first step to change your name in your immunization record. And then to request a copy of that, they need your photo ID and you need to fill out this request copy of California immunization record, which is very easy to fill out. And we will also provide the link to this PDF for you as well. If you're requesting this information for yourself, you will fill out this area here that says personal information, your current legal first name, middle name if you have one, your last name. If you have an alias or a nickname that is associated with your vaccination record, you may put that as well. Your date of birth, your gender, and I'll say a little bit about that right now, email address, your physical address where they can mail you an official copy. And then you want to initial down here where it says, I requested / received a copy of my immunization record and provided a proper identification to SDIR. You sign and you date, and you can send that all at the same time, meaning you can send this request and then your court document as well as your photo ID to the email address provider so that they can update it and then also send you a copy of your immunization record. And it's a very quick process. When I did it, I sent all the documents at the same time. They were very helpful, super kind, and I think I had my updated information within 24 hours. They will email you a copy of your full immunization record and then also send out an official immunization record in the mail, which is like this familiar yellow card. So going back a little bit about the gender, on my California driver's license, my gender is X for non-binary. When I filled this out, I put M just because that's what it says on my social security and my federal documents. But honestly, this is just a tool for them to look you up in the system. And when I actually received my physical updated copy under the sex category, it says you. And I'm guessing that's kind of what they do if your driver's license says X, or if for whatever reason your gender isn't showing up. I want to say that the immunization record category for sex or gender is based on what your driver license says. So if you're confused about this over here, I would either leave it blank or put an X by it, and then it'll be kind of self-explanatory based on the ID that you provide. If you are requesting an immunization record for a minor, for your child, you can do so if you are a parent or a legal guardian. I know that schools are back in session, so they might be requesting these. If you lost it, then this is the same form that you would use to request for your child or for yourself, regardless of having a name change or not. So if you are requesting as a parent or as a legal guardian, you fill out both of these sections. This top section here is for the information of the person that you are requesting for. And this portion down here is your information as the person who is requesting. And so you'll fill in your first name, middle name, type of identification. If you have a California ID or a passport, you would put that here, and whatever corresponding number there is, your date of birth, your gender, your relationship to the patient. If you're requesting child, for your child, you will put a parent there, and then the address that it will be mailed to. And then you would check off this section right here that says that you requested and received a copy of your child's immunization record with proper identification. And then send identification for yourself as well as for the person that you're requesting. And then you sign and date it here as well. So it's pretty easy. So just to recap super quick, if you are updating your name and requesting a record, you just need 3 things. You need your court order with your legal name change, a photo ID with your latest, with your correct name on it, and this request copy for California immunization record. If the name change stuff does not apply to you and you just lost your card and your work or your child's school or your university or whatever is asking for it, then this is the same page that you are looking for. It's 1 page, and it has actually on here the information of where you can fax it to, email it to, or send a physical copy to. And then Dominic, is there any questions that you think might come up for folks?
Yeah, I had some questions. So if you don't have a photo ID in the form of a driver's license, what would be some other valid forms of photo ID?
You could use you could probably use a passport as well. The point is to like look you up in the system, in the record, and find your record there. So they're going to be looking
I
at your
see.
first and last name and your date of birth there. You can ask when you email them with the information. You can be like, hey, this is the info. I have my court order. I have this ID that I'm waiting on. Is it possible to receive an updated immunization record with the name that I have on my court order? Right. That's a good question.
And another note, I recently called this number on the immunization records request form, where it says you can call for more information, the 619-692-5656. It went straight to a voicemail. There wasn't anyone picking up, and there wasn't any like options that I could select with the keypad.
Yeah.
So
My experience was with that. I want to say was similar. I left a message and then somebody got back to me within a couple of hours.
oh, good.
And
Okay.
then they gave me their personal email and their personal phone number so that I could be in contact with them and so that I can email them directly my documents. And so maybe that's why it was a lot faster for me. But you can also email the documents to that general email that is listed on the request form.
Okay. And
so yeah,
if you mail them, it doesn't have to be the original copy, does it? Because I know that when you get a name and gender change court order, they give you a few copies because there are certain like places that they need the actual document.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is this
so
one of those things?
No. So for example, for your social security and to update your passport, you need they do not accept copies. They don't accept any photocopies, and you need the form that has the wet signature on it. Wet signature is like when you can tell that somebody signed it with an actual pen. So it's usually like in a different color other than
Blue
black.
ink.
Blue ink. Yeah. I think my judge signed it in like purple ink, which I think is fabulous.
How non-binary.
I know, right? But no, this one, I literally took a picture of the court order, of a copy of the court order on my phone and uploaded that and attached that to an email that I sent directly to the person that was helping me. And then she was like, perfect.
Oh, sweet.
Works. And she did the update there and then, and the request immediately too. And I got it all. I got an email with a PDF of my entire immunization record that included the COVID-19 vaccine and everything that I've ever been vaccinated with in the state of California, which was kind of cool to see. And then I got an official copy, which is like the yellow card that everybody is familiar with. I got that in the mail a couple days later. But to circle back to your question, no, you don't need the original form because you're just sending a picture or a scan of it.
Cool. This is great. You've been teaching me so much stuff about the current situation for like filing name and gender changes. I didn't even know. You said that you can change your driver's license gender marker without.
Let's talk a little bit about this is not COVID related now. This is just we're little trans things. We're gonna talk about the current process for for legal gender and name changes in the state of California. So I did my legal name and gender change. I started the process back in February, and so the process has changed over the years, right? Dominic, do you want to share a little bit about your process of if you want?
Gosh, I feel so old now. It was only like 3 years ago. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I changed my gender marker to male because non-binary was like in the process of getting statewide approval and implementation still, and that wasn't expected to happen until September, I believe. I might be off, but anyway, all I know is that when I wanted to change my gender away from what I was assigned at birth. The only options were male and female. And so I just went with male because I also qualified for the fee waiver. Otherwise, it'd be like hundreds of dollars to apply. And by the time that the non-binary gender marker became an option for everyone to choose, I no longer qualified for the fee waiver, so I didn't want to like pay all that money to just update my gender marker. So that's my backstory of why my paperwork is like that. But there's a benefit to having all of the documents consistent across the board. I've probably had a little less hassle, and that kind of brings up the point of barriers to access, which is what our program at UPAC is all about. Is like helping people remove barriers to access to things like healthcare and legal care and what have you, food, especially in this pandemic, right? Like not only do we offer free education and clarifying misunderstandings and about COVID related stuff, but we can help in a warm handoff into case management kind of way with other service linkages too.
Yeah.
So for example, if someone needs help with getting name and gender changed, I mean, there are a few resources here in the county that are good at this and help people all the time. We can totally connect you to those. And we can also have phone calls, emails, texts, even depending on the situation, in-person meetings to help go over any other struggles folks may have.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I've done both for my partner, my friends, as well as some clients that I have from a different UPAC program that I work at that is mental health based. Some of my clients there are trans and also needed help changing their name. And so just because I had already done it and gone through the whole process and made a couple mistakes, I was able to to help them through it. So I'm very comfortable talking about it and walking anybody that needs to do that. So
Yay.
Since Dominic, since you've had your legal name and gender change a few years ago, things have changed. I did mine in February, and my process was a little different. It was also like in the middle of COVID, so I had to do everything through the mail, which probably prolonged it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Now the court in San Diego is open, and so when I went with my partner, I was surprised because they could go in and talk to a clerk, and then they reviewed the paperwork, and it was stamped, and it was ready to go there. And then for me, it was different. Like I filled out my paperwork and I walked in and I had to stamp it myself and like put it in a Dropbox, and nobody double checked my work. And it was like my second time doing it because I messed it up the first time. So yeah, so it was a whole thing. But one of the major differences now, if you are legally changing your name, it used to be that you had to actually publish that name change in the newspaper for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, so to me that's terrifying because if I'm trans and I'm like changing my name and I have like bad history with my family or with like people, and not that anybody reads the newspaper, but like,
right. But
I don't want somebody being like, that's a trans person, that's their name, and then all of a sudden they have all this information. I just don't know where that information is going to end up.
Right.
So a lot of trans folks felt similarly, and they got together and changed that. And so if you are trans and you are doing a legal name and gender change, you do not have to publish that in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Precisely because of those safety concerns. And so,
that's great.
Yeah. And so, so just be aware of that. That is not a step that you have to take, because when I went and turned in and was turning in my paperwork, there actually was one person like in that lobby area that was nice enough to like quickly look over my stuff. And he asked me, what newspaper are you going to publish this in? And I was like, oh, I don't have to. because I'm trans. And he was like, oh, right, you know. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
wow, how
yeah,
much work went into that simple conversation
yeah,
though?
yeah.
Like,
And so, right, all of the paperwork that you need to submit to the court for your name change is online on the county website. And so you can find that online along with the fee waiver. The actual cost for changing your name and gender is somewhere close to $500. So there is a fee waiver that you can request. If you are on food stamps, SSI, and a couple other assistance programs that
yeah.
automatically qualifies you. There's also an option to be like, if you are not under any of those assistance programs, but you still can't pay for
Proof of
that.
financial hardship.
Yeah, it's just an additional sheet where you list your income or like your sources of income and how much you pay for rent, and like, and it's just like a very detailed list, like an itemized list of all of your expenses, including like how much you spend on clothes and transportation and medicine and stuff like that. And once you add it up, I feel like most people, a lot of people would qualify for the fee waiver. And so that's what I had to theoretically, right? Yeah. And so so that's what I did. That was the initial way that I messed up and that delayed, is that I didn't fill out the fee waiver correctly. And so they sent it back, and then I redid it with that whole itemization, and then I got approved. And so once you have your court document and with the judge's signature on it, the next step is to go to the Social Security Administration. And you do need to give them your original court document with the wet signature. And when I did it, everything was closed. So I had to drop it off. There was one security guard at the Social Security Administration, but no employees. And the security guard was basically there to open the door so that I could access the drop box, where I dropped off the application for the change of Social Security along with a copy, not a copy, along with the original court document. Traditionally, what it looks like is you set up an appointment with Social Security, and then you go in with all your document, they look at it, they stamp things, and then you give them your application, and then that's how you submit it. I had to drop my stuff off because of COVID, and then they mailed back my original document. They did it pretty fast. And that was that. So court order, update your Social Security. Once you have your Social Security, the next step is to take it to the DMV. And I don't think I even needed my actual Social Security card. I don't think they asked for it because it's already updated in the records. So I believe I did an application online, which led to an in-person appointment that I couldn't avoid. So there you have to go with your court document again, and then you take your picture for a new ID, and then they update it. You get that like paper version of it while they send it off to you in the mail. And so that's the trifecta basically. It's like the court document, the Social Security, and then the ID. And once you have those three, you're unstoppable, and then you start updating everywhere else: your lease, your bank, your medical insurance, your workplace, which is important for like your taxes too. So all that is connected. And so basically, like after you have those three, you start coming out to everybody that doesn't need to know. It's the awkward place. But one also, another important piece of information that Dominic was shocked to find out is that in order to change your gender marker on your California license or ID, you don't need to go to the court at all. You go to the DMV, they have a little slip of paper, and you fill it out that you want to change your gender marker to whatever you want to change it to. And you need no documentation for that. You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need a court order. You don't need anything from Social Security. You literally just go and you do it because you want to.
Amazing.
And that costs, I believe, $35, which is just the cost of a new ID. Yeah, the California DMV is you can change your gender marker there without any documentation. You cannot change your name there. If you need to change your name, then you have to do that through the court first, and then through the Social Security. But gender marker, anybody can change it. I changed my gender marker to X before, like way before I did my name change. Any DMV should be able to to provide that slip and that service and that update.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so
Wow.
lots of updates for you, Dominic.
Yeah, this is so helpful though. I'm so grateful too that you're offering this type of navigation assistance. It's so great to get help from someone who's like been through the process themselves and they've got that insider knowledge.
Yeah,
you know?
and
So
it's intimidating, and like I hate doing the paperwork, but honestly the paperwork is for the court is a lot easier than it looks. Because you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. But it's basically you writing your dead name and your address over and over again in like 6 different pieces of paper. And I always bring my copies of what I did when I'm helping somebody through it, so that I can go like line by line and see what to fill out and all that. And then once you're done with that, because the court is open, you can have somebody double check it there, just to make sure that everything is correctly filled out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And then also, of course, if anyone just wants someone from our team to support with like, if you're going to go get COVID tested at a site where they have walk-ins, or if you want help with making an appointment anywhere, we can help with that. And same for vaccines. Like, we just want everybody to get the COVID vaccination. And we're also down to answer any questions you have about it if you're still on the fence about it, or you just want to know more. We'd love to chat with you in any platform that you like to use.
We do. We're both very talkative.
Yeah, I'll just talk to you all day long.
Yeah,
clearly.
all day long. Yeah, and aside from the COVID resources that we have, UPAC also offers a number of other services, including mental health programs that have integrated, other types of services in it, because we know that in order to get your mental health stable and continuously stable, it's not just a matter of having a therapist, right? It's a matter of like having access to medication if that's what you need. Having peer support specialists, and having employment support specialists, and other kinds of services that kind of wrap around, and so depending on what you're looking for, we might be able to ask around to the very extensive services that UPAC offers and kind of link you up with whatever you think might be most helpful to you. And I am also a peer support specialist at a different UPAC clinic that specializes in mental health. And basically what a peer support specialist is somebody that has lived experience with mental health services. So I've navigated that, I continue to navigate that for myself, and can also provide that service, that support for others in navigating mental health services and other county services too, because it's all connected.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there for us. It's just hard to navigate sometimes.
It is, and so we're constantly doing that for ourselves, and also want to extend our knowledge and experiences to anybody who might benefit from that. And don't hesitate to reach out to us for anything, whether it's COVID related or not. This is literally what we do, what we're here for, and what I'm here for inside and outside of UPAC. So
yeah,
that's my spiel.
Nice elevator pitch. Yeah, I mean, we're funded by the county of San Diego in support of that Live Well San Diego vision for safe, healthy, and thriving communities. So that's a pretty big umbrella that we fit under. There's a lot of other campaigns and programs that are also in line with that same vision. And yeah, we
got the funding. Let's use it. Let's use it for whatever your needs.
The only way we're going to get out of this pandemic is together. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's the truth. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks so much, everyone. Thank you, Julian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully we'll talk to y'all soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a good day.